Hello, this is the TradeSite U.S. Stocks and Futures Market Preview for the week beginning Sunday, the 28th of January 2024, ending Friday, February 2nd, already in February 2024. Wednesday is end of month statements print. Let's get to it. Here's the dollar index daily chart, and dead flat for the last couple of weeks, mid range for the last 12 months. No signals, nothing to really talk about there. Euro dollar basically the inverse of the dollar index, a little bit weaker, but basically still where it was 10 days ago. Remember that 13 sell signal back at the end of December was the high candle. Here's a look at the pound dollar. A couple days, another day up or two here, we would end up with a 13 sell signal on this one, but overall this has been very flat for the last 2 months. Let's go on to the stock side. ES from a futures contract. Daily chart, the broad market in futures form, which is the proper way to look at the market. We've got the new highs basically this week on the market. This is all-time highs that we're at here, approaching the 5,000 level on the ES and the S&P. Here's the S&P cash index. So again, we had that 13 sell signal back at the end of December, pulled back for a couple of days, ran into the risk line, pulled back, and then broke through it. And now we're approaching the 5,000 level. That's going to be an interesting battle, I bet. NASDAQ 100 had a 13 sell signal this week at the top on Wednesday. That's the high candle. So we've got a sell signal in place there. We'll see what that leads to as it's sitting now near the 18,000 level. Again, all-time highs with this as well. The Russell 2000 not at highs. It's down for the month of January. So it was flat this week, though. And we had mostly a flat week in the market. We'll look at the intraday here in a moment. Here's Bitcoin now sitting at 17. Oh, sorry, not Bitcoin. There's Bitcoin. Sitting at 41,800. Pulled back a bit after those ETFs came out. That was kind of the high. And now sitting at 41,800 as I do this. Obviously, it trades 24/7. TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, has pulled back a bit after that late year rally. Now sitting down at the 93.78 level. So bonds down, rates up a bit, but again, well off the lows that we hit back in October. The VIX still sitting in the low teens. This is not good for the market in terms of the action and volatility. We like to see a 13.26 close on Friday. Advanced decline ratio on the New York was both ways this week. Had a couple negative days, a couple positive days. Monday was fairly negative. The trend closing at 0.79 puts the 10-day moving average at 1.24, which is well above that 0.85 level that we monitor for a sell signal in the trend in the broad market. Here's the intra-week action 10-minute candle. So you can see last Friday on the far left, and a little gap up on Monday, dead flat, flat open and dead flat all day Tuesday. At that point, we'd gone nowhere for the week. Wednesday, we gap up. Trying to go higher, we get a 13 sell signal on the 10-minute chart. That's the high of the week. And pull back and fill the gap. So at that point, you're still in the opening 5-minute candle from Monday, close on Wednesday. Gapped up on Thursday, tried to fill the gap, didn't quite get there, closed where we opened on Thursday, and then Friday flat opening, flat close. So not very interesting action there in the markets all week long. NASDAQ 100, not much different. Look how flat Monday and Tuesday were for the NASDAQ. That's just horrible. NASDAQ closes barely up for the week. S&P is up a little bit better. Let's go through some of our daily charts of some of the stocks. The bigger stocks, Apple, near highs, no pattern, no signals. Amazon near highs hasn't had a 13 in a long time here. Meta has a 13 sell signal, but already busted the risk line on that. So nothing to really follow through on that way. Google had that 13 sell signal, pulled back for a couple weeks, and then now has rallied straight up to highs, new all-time highs in Google. Goldman Sachs dead sideways for a month and a half now. Basically not tradable, unfortunately. We had a pressure threshold trade on this one point in time, but that's about it. Netflix, new highs again. Tesla, new lows on the gap down this week on earnings. So Tesla's hurting, dragging the market a bit. Nvidia, also near highs, because why not? Zoom hasn't done much so far this year. And First Solar, another one we like to follow. Dead flat since the beginning of October. So, in terms of just general activity, it hasn't been super exciting. The VIX is too low, but we don't have major signals, but we are approaching that 5,000 level in the S&P, we'll see what that means when we get there. In terms of economic data coming out this week, got a sorry, let me catch my system up here. I'm on the wrong date. There we go. So sorry, wasn't expecting that. All right. So Monday, CB leading index out of China, unemployment rate out of Japan. No data here in the U.S. on Monday. Tuesday, we've got the housing price index at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. We've got consumer confidence at 10, JOLTS job openings at 10, and then that's it here in the U.S. On Wednesday, not much around the globe. U.S. has the ADP non-farm employment change at 8:15 a.m. Eastern Time. Employment cost index at 8:30. Chicago PMI at 9:45. Crude oil inventories at 10:30. Got a Fed meeting this week. 2-day Fed meeting. Announcements Wednesday at 2 p.m. Press conference at 2:30. That's how we do it these days. On Thursday, so that, by the way, that's going to slow us down. Keep in mind, Wednesday is the end of the month, so you're already going to be slow for the statement printing a little bit. It's not a quarterly, it's not a half year, it's not an end of year, but it's still a monthly statement print. And you got the Fed also, so Tuesday and Wednesday. Not hopeful on those days. Thursday, a lot of manufacturing PMI numbers around the globe. Rate announcement out of the UK at 7 a.m. Eastern Time here in the U.S. Challenger job cuts at 7:30. Unemployment initial and continuing claims at 8:30. Preliminary non-farm productivity, same time. We've got final manufacturing PMI here in the U.S. at 9:45. ISM manufacturing PMI at 10, along with the manufacturing prices number and the construction spending number, all at 10 o'clock. Natty gas at 10:30, and then on Friday here in the U.S. is the unemployment rate, which is a big one, obviously. The non-farm payroll numbers, obviously the GDP came in stronger than expected this last week. The economy's still rocking, and inflation is coming down, so that bodes really well for the economy as a whole. Very strong economy right now. Revised University of Michigan sentiment at 10, and factory orders also at 10. That's it. We'll see what we get this week. And like I said, the focus is the Fed, and Wednesday is going to be probably slow with the Fed announcement and the statement printing. Charts, as usual, brought to you by Ninja Trader. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading week.